What is up, Nerf Nation? I'm Naptown Nerf, and this is episode 27 of Naptown Nerf Thrifting. Pretty sure 27 is correct. I think the last episode was 26, way back in February of last year. And yeah, that's a lot of months in between episodes. So, unfortunately, this is the final episode of Naptown Nerf Thrifting. It's just very, very time consuming, and I've said this in many of my other videos back a year ago, that thrifting in Indiana has gotten a lot more difficult. The prices are just way higher. There isn't as much Nerf out there, at least when I've been going, there hasn't been. And when there is, it's stuff that I really don't need and I really don't have space for. And the prices are far higher than they used to be when I thrifted them back, years ago. So if you don't need it, you don't want to pay the price, you don't pay for it. That's just how it goes. Or it should go anyway. Sometimes I, don't follow my rules. But more or less, I've been doing pretty good. And I think, it is for the best because, like I said, I've run out of space. And I probably should sell some of the stuff I have. But that takes a lot of going through and organizing and figure out what I actually do have. And that is something I have not been able to do yet. But maybe one day. We'll see. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and check out what we got. But before we do, I want to wish everyone a Happy New Year. I'm pretty sure this is going to be my first upload of the year. But if not, it'll be the first time I say Happy New Year to you guys. Happy 2020. Happy new decade. Hopefully it's a good one. We will see. I'm sure will be interesting in the YouTube realm what happens in the next few months. But I'm just going to keep going with what I've been doing because I make videos for everyone. I've never made my content for kids. I always made my content for at least 13 plus years of age. I talk to my subscribers as they were adults. I hope you agree. And if you like this video, please smash that like button because small YouTubers, it's tough out there for us guys. So I'd greatly appreciate the like and also subscribe if you're not subscribed. Ring the bell for notifications so you should hopefully be alerted to when I post a video. Let's jump into those finds. Alright, so the first blaster is the Iron Man Mag Strike, which is a pretty rare variant of the Mag Strike. Pretty cool. From, I don't know, a while ago. I think this came out with the first Iron Man movie, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sweet. It does have a mag clip in there. It is a clip, but they call it the Mag Strike. They call clips mags, mags clips. You know how it goes. But the clip that's in there that's pretty valuable. Those are kind of hard to come by even when you do find the blaster. So that's pretty sweet. This was $4, and I think this was actually gifted to me from a person that's in the Naptown Nerf Club, or used to be in the Naptown Nerf Club, that came to games all the time, and then he got out of the hobby, so he gave Jill and I quite a few blasters, and I'll be showing you some of those. I can't remember which ones are his and which ones are not because it's been so long ago, but I believe this is one of the ones that he gave me, and that's very kind of him. We've actually already given away quite a few of the things that he did bring, so that's pretty awesome. But I did keep a few things just to show you guys, and this is the Iron Man Mag Strike. Pretty sweet find. We have the Reaper Overwatch Rival Blaster, which is a pretty darn sweet Overwatch, cosplay blaster, I guess you want to call it. A replica blaster, obviously. Definitely looks really good. I mean, they did a really good job with the look of this, I think. It is not the most comfortable blaster, but it is pretty sweet. It's basically a bigger Kronos, so that's pretty awesome. And I got this pretty cheap. I think I paid $20 for it. So and this was right after they came out, so that's pretty cheap for one of these because they were only available in 2 packs, or in the dual pack at the time, and those things were crazy expensive. So I picked this up off my friend Buff Daddy for $20, so it's not really a thrift, but still a good deal, so I figured I'd show it to you. We have another gifted blaster. This is a Rapid Strike that I'm sure was probably thrifted at one point. It is missing the jam door. Pretty cool though. Rapid Strikes I always enjoy having them around. They're great for modding. They have great internals for using in other things like the pusher mechanism, so pretty awesome find there. We have a couple Recon barrels. These are the blue variant, obviously. I really like this color variant. Goes with a lot of Nerf blasters, obviously, so really cool barrel and can be, I really like shortening these up so they're half the length. I probably will do that to one of these and then use it as a, a barrel attachment for something, but always a good find there. We have the good old rough cut. This was $3, which is about the maximum I'd probably pay for a thrifted rough cut. But this is a solid blaster. They do make really good loaners for the Naptown Nerf Club because they hold 8 shots. You don't have to carry mags, and they're just, a good size and a good blaster you can just pretty much give to anybody and they can use somewhat effectively. So, pretty cool find. Another gifted blaster. This is the double breech. Pretty cool. I'm not sure if he thrifted this or if he bought this new, but pretty sweet blaster that, could be modded at some point. I say that loosely because I just do not ever have time to mod all the things. Unfortunately, I have several projects that I need to get to actually currently, but nevertheless, this is a pretty cool blaster and definitely a fun one. I think he also donated this, and this is the Fuse Fire, which is actually one of my favorite Vortex blasters. It's just a really cool pistol that loads through the back here, and there actually are some discs to go with it that he donated, which is pretty cool because those are, kind of hard to find. I mean, I know you can get them at Target, but they're definitely not cheap. So always cool to have discs, but it just loads in the back there like that. And then you pull back, and it actually holds like 5 of them in there, and then you can, I think, load 1, so it can hold up to 6. So that's really cool, so you can just keep topping it off. But we'll go ahead and fire that off. Pretty fun blaster, glows up here, pretty sweet. Or lights up, I guess. Nevertheless, pretty cool blaster, the Fuse Fire. Got a 18-round drum mag, which are probably my favorite drum mag. These I probably use more than any other drum mag. I don't really use them that often, but if I had more of these, I would definitely use them. They're great for putting on your waist because they hold 18 rounds, but they're about the length of maybe a 10-round mag. So very, very good for, waist-mounted magazine holders. Maybe not so good for, obviously, chest ones, but we have 22-round mags for that. But nevertheless, cool find there. Got a long shot here that was 99 cents that I believe I've already taken apart somewhat. And I used something out of here. But 99 cents for a long shot, I mean, that's solid just for if you want to use the plunger tube for something or other parts. That's kind of why I tend to pick these up more often than not, especially for like $1 or $2, because there's just so many things inside of here that you can use. So pretty cool find there. It's been so long since I've done one of these, I forgot that I usually stack up the blasters next to me so you guys can kind of see what it amounts to. But let's keep going with the next blaster. Found a Hulk Titan. Now, I did thrift this, and unfortunately, it is not functioning, but I have thrifted many Titans in the past, so I'm sure I can transplant working Titan parts into this at some point, but it was only $1, so I thought the shell was worth $1 just to have a green one because they're pretty rare, and I did not have one. So, and I do have quite a few green Hornets, so I don't think it came with the Scout. I don't think this one came with the Scout, if I remember correctly, but I do have some green Hornets that I've thrifted in the past, and I have never thrifted a Titan, so thought that was a pretty cool find. Got a couple 20-round Vortex magazines, which are always nice to have around, as they're kind of hard to come by these days. I don't use Vortex too much, and I think these were actually also gifted by that same certain somebody in the club, so those are always cool to have around, and definitely may put them to use if I ever want to run a Vortex loadout. Well, I thrifted an Elite Raven, but obviously somebody did not know how to paint their blasters, and it's unfortunate because this is one of the prettiest painted blasters right out of the box, in my opinion, that Nerf has ever done. But this person did not seem to appreciate that, so that's a little unfortunate. It was $6 for something like this, so that's not great, but it is a Raven. Probably going to obviously have to paint this one or use it for an integration or something, but for $6, I thought it was worth it just for the Raven shell. Yeah, pretty cool find. Unfortunate, though, that it's in this kind of condition. Guys, if you want to paint your blasters, look up tutorials on YouTube on how to do so, because this doesn't look good, trust me. You don't want to just spray it with some blue. Not a good look. Let's move on. Thrifted this vintage, I think this is the Master Blaster, if I remember correctly. Man, I used to know these names way better than I do now, but I'm pretty sure this is the Master Blaster. $2 for a vintage, you know, Kenner Nerf Blaster. That's pretty cool. This one is a 1991 product, is what it says. Yeah, pretty old. Not as old as me, but pretty old. So pretty cool find there. Unfortunately, it didn't have any of the stickers, but if it did, Goodwill loves to just put their stickers right on top of stickers and ruin those stickers. So, you know, I guess it's better that they did that without the sticker there. I don't know. Anyways, cool find. We have a Demolisher here that looks like it was $5.99. Not a great price. I have so many of these. It's a good price for a Demolisher, don't get me wrong, but I have so many of them that I've gotten probably cheaper than that. But, you know, still not too bad. The Demolisher is a really cool blaster, one of my favorite looking blasters, especially when you minimize the Demolisher hamp. But the Demolisher hamp is also one of the things that makes it really cool, so I honestly prefer it both ways. I like it both ways, so it just depends on what you want. But very cool blaster and not a bad find. Looks like we got a Marshmallow Blaster. These things are awesome. Obviously, when modified, they can hit really hard when they're firing darts, not marshmallows, and it was $2, so pretty cool find there. Got a Sweet Revenge here. $2. Pretty good find. I love Sweet Revenges. Those shells are awesome. They're very good for painting. So this is a pretty cool find. I'll pick these up every time for a couple bucks. Yeah, sweet. AirTech 2000, also a solid blaster. $2. Pretty sweet. I do believe it is functioning. Yep, even the liquid gauge works still. Pretty sweet. I got a big one. And it is the Centurion. And how much did I pay for this? $10. Whew, that was a lot. But these shells are awesome for integrations. I know Mr. Nathan loves his Centurion shells. I've always enjoyed mine. I've done, I think, only one integration with it, actually. But that was actually one of my favorites. You know, Devil's Wing. Definitely a sweet mod and inspired many more like it. So that's pretty cool. I was not the first to do it, but for some reason a lot of people like to kind of copy the one I did, which I am greatly appreciative for, and I honestly need to do another one that's way better than what I did. It was one of my first integrations, but nevertheless, definitely a sweet shell for integrations. Not the greatest blaster in the world, but definitely really cool looking. Thrifted a Dual Strike, $2, so not too bad of a price. These things are pretty awesome when single and modified. They can be pretty awesome. Not the greatest blaster in stock form, unfortunately, but a cool idea. Yeah, when you put a coupler in there and you single this down and put a nice long barrel on there and cover up all the air leaks inside that are pretty, there's a lot of them, if I remember correctly. This thing can hit pretty hard. Hammer Shot, $4. I don't know if this was one of the gifted ones. It might have been, or maybe Jill picked this one up. Probably a little high for what I would pay for a Hammer Shot. So I'm not sure if I actually bought this one or not. But Hammer Shots are awesome, just like the Sweet Revenge. You know, same internals. But great pistols for HVZ. So definitely, you know, not a bad find there. Next blaster is the Rads 12. And this is a pretty interesting blaster from Busbee. Something that I don't see too often. I think I found one or two other ones, but usually they're broken, and this is, I think, the first one that I found that wasn't. So I picked it up. It was $3. Not too bad of a price. I mean, definitely an interesting design, how it rotates and decides to shoot the top barrel. But it holds 12, and it just, you'd think it's a shotgun, but it isn't. That would be really sweet, in my opinion, but it is a single shot shooter, so pretty cool blaster. Not a bad find. Got the Super Max 4000, 2500. Cannot remember what this one is. The Super Max, I think it's 2500. I don't know. I don't have my phone on me to look it up, but obviously none of the stickers are on there. I've thrifted a few of these in the past. Definitely a cool blaster. This is the older version of it. There's a newer version of it that's the same. And is it the 3000? Man, numbers. I could just not remember. I know what the Supermax 5000 is in certain ones, but this one I always forget the number. But nevertheless, I'm sure a zillion of you will let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, definitely a sweet looking blaster, very 90s, pretty sweet. So I got the clear or transparent version of the Recon. This was $5. And yes, this is a broken clear Raider stock. And I think this is the second or possibly third time that I've found the clear Raider stock and it's been broken. So I've yet to thrift one of these actually in complete form. Yes, even I haven't thrifted everything out there. There's actually quite a few things that I haven't thrifted. But yeah, that's unfortunate. I did not pay $5 just for this piece though. And that's why it's on the blaster. So $5 for this, not too bad a price, I don't think, you know, considering the prices I usually see these days. Not horrible. And that's a little bit of a clue to what I have to show you now, which is the clear Raider. And this was there also. This was $3. And I think there was the stock for that, but it was off the blaster and it was priced differently and it was like $10 or something crazy. I don't know. Someone might have switched the tags or something before I got there because that didn't make any sense to me. But I do remember this and it was months ago. So it must have just blown my mind, I guess. But nevertheless, you know, pretty cool find for $3, I guess. Wish it had the stock all, you know, complete, and the drum would have been sweet too. The clear 35 round drums are pretty cool, but you know, $3, not too bad. And we thrifted a Strife with the Super Soaker version of that stock, which is not a bad find, kind of a cool look. This was $2, so not bad for $2 to get all that. You know, Stripes I'll pick up for a couple bucks every time because I love Stripes. They're my favorite blaster to mod and favorite blaster period probably. They just have so many things you can do to them and you make them look really cool. Although they do get a little old after a while. I have one that's sitting actually right there that I have yet to finish. But soon it will happen. Probably before summer. Hopefully. Nevertheless, pretty good find for $2. Attachments. I'm just going to show you all these attachments all in one thing because they're not really worth showing for too long. Obviously, the Raider stock is pretty sweet. Definitely a good find there. We got the modulus barrel extension attachment, which is not a terrible thing. We got the grip. I'm sure these were on blasters at one point. I think this was gifted to me, the Spectre barrel attachment, which is always a cool looking barrel and cool find. We got a long shot scope and a Recon barrel. There you go. Now let's get to the good stuff. Now these next blasters I actually received in a trade, and they are the Star-Lord blasters. And not very good performance out of these blasters, but definitely have a cool gimmick. Pretty sweet, and their size is very screen accurate, or pretty close to, I do believe. Definitely cool looking blasters, and they're kind of hard to come by. So I think it was a worthy blaster for trade, you know, not bad. So yeah, pretty cool gets there, and did not have these in my collection, so that is pretty sweet. The next two are super rare blasters. One of them I purchased off of it was a Facebook group, Nerf group, and that is the Busbee Barricade, which was only for sale at, I believe, Comic-Con. I don't remember what year. It was a while ago. But definitely one of the coolest painted blasters Nerf has ever done with the detailing. It's like a custom hydro dip on this thing that is, you know, retail. So that's well, not retail, I guess, but you know what I mean. But definitely really, really cool. I wish Nerf would do more stuff like this, even if it was like these collector items like blasters that are like exclusives to like cons or limited availability. I think are really, really cool, especially when they look this good. So, and it is in like really, really good condition. I mean, there's very little wrong with it, so it's pretty sweet. I cannot remember what I paid for it. Plus, I had to pay for shipping, I do believe. I don't remember, but it wasn't a great price, but it wasn't a bad price either. So pretty happy to have this in my collection, and definitely a cool get there. Now, this next blaster is pretty special, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it before I show it off. This was donated to the Naptown Nerf Club, the club that Jill and I and Zombona, or Ari, run. It's a club that we've been running for probably, oh my gosh, at least 3 full years now. So that's pretty sweet. And a person that you may know in the Nerf community as Matty Barker, or Matty the Nerf Guy, I think is what he goes by. He's been a fan of the club for a long time, and he's made it out to a few games. He lives a little bit away, so it's hard for him to get to games super often, but he's been to, I think, 3 different Naptown Nerf events, and the last one he came to this summer, he gave me this, and he told me he wanted this to be turned into a loaner for the club, and I have yet to be able to mod this because my plan was to put the new Orange ModWorks hybrid kit into this so it could shoot both half and full length darts, because I thought that would be really a good set of internals for a loaner blaster, especially for, you know, half of our wars are 150 FPS, and I kind of wanted to keep it under the 150 cap if possible, and, you know, have good efficiency. So and then be available for people that want to use full length mags, because a lot of people that obviously come that need a loaner do not have half length dart mags, and I don't have a lot to loan out to people. So that being said, I don't even know if that will work out so well, because we don't have that many loaner darts that will work in a full length breech like that. So that may not even matter now that I think about it, but nevertheless, that was the kit that I wanted to put in here for that reason. Maybe we'll get some full length darts that are more sealed breech compatible in the future, but pretty awesome gift that he was so generous to give this to the Naptown Nerf Club and to use it as a special loaner for special people that come to the club and want to use it. So hopefully Orange ModWorks will still come out with that kit. If not, then I'm going to have to put something else in there. And if you guys have any suggestions on what I should do internally to this, please let me know in the comment section below if that isn't going to work out. I think they're still coming out with that kit. I just don't know when. So, and I know Maddie wants to see this thing finished and modded. So that will happen at some point soon, hopefully. And yeah, let me know if you think I should put something else in here. It's got to shoot 150. Around 150 would be perfect. If it shot 150 FPS, I think that would be perfect for this, for a loaner that could be used for both our 150 cap wars and our 200 FPS cap wars. I think that would be awesome. So that's my goal, is to get this shooting 150. If it's only half length compatible, it's only half length compatible, but you know, that's not as huge a deal as the FPS limit, and most half length dart kits are gonna probably shoot over 150. It'd be challenging, I think, to get it to shoot under that. Maybe with the right barrel length and spring load, but nevertheless, really nice of him, and I cannot wait to put some sweet internals into here. So thank you guys so much for watching. That is the total find, and you can probably remember back to my other episodes, I used to find at least this much stuff just in a month, and it took me 10 months to accumulate all this. So that tells you how often I get out to the thrift stores, and how often I actually, when I do get out, actually buy something, because either there's nothing there or there's nothing there that I really need to buy. The really things I'm interested in purchasing are things that add to my collection in rarity, things I don't have, or things that I, like a Strife or something like that, that I pick up for $1 or $2 that I know I'm going to use. So that's kind of what I gravitate to nowadays. So I hope you enjoyed this final episode of Naptown Nerf Thrifting. I just don't do it often enough to put together a full episode for you guys. I don't think anybody wants me to show them 1 or 2 blasters that I found throughout a month's time. That's not going to be exciting. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please smash that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Ring the bell for notifications. And as always, peace out.